Hello everybody out there and welcome to the first ever episode of the Zenescope Recap. You guys know me and my brother Mike.
Hey guys.
And in this video we are going to be recapping every single one of the Zenescope books that, well, I should correct myself, all the books that we could review for Zenescope the month of April. This will be the first book we're reviewing. Really quick, I do want to make mention of other books that we didn't get or trade paperbacks that we don't have here, because when we decided to start reviewing hard copies of Zenescope, it was some series were already in the middle, so we didn't get them. So this is for the month of April, and for the month of April, the books we did not get. Trade paperback wise, there is Tales from Oz and Quest. Both came out in trade paperback form. The books we are not going to be reviewing here because they are either almost over or over are Barmaids, issue 5 of 5, and Code Red, issue 5 of 5. Everything else is here. And as a matter of fact, next month, Code Red comes out in trade paperback form, and I believe Mike will be getting that. I will be looking into Quest. So, you could expect those trade paperbacks at a future day. I didn't get Quest for this month. It was a heavy week when Quest came out, so I opted not to get it at the moment, but we will get it. And also reading time, I would have had like 1 week before we did this. But every other book from Zenescope is in here.
Yep.
Also, we are celebrating Free Comic Book Day. However, Free Comic Book Day is officially in May, so that book, provided we get it, fingers crossed, will be in the May recap. However, we do have the book digitally.
Yes, we do.
So we'll probably check it. We'll probably review it for digitally if we don't get it physically. So let's get into the books this week, and we're gonna this month, and we're gonna start with the book that came out first, which is Grimm Fairy Tales issue 96. Some books Mike read, some book I read, and some books we both read. This book we both read, and I like this issue.
Yeah, I really thought that was an interesting issue also. I just want to show some artwork as well. So, in Grimm Fairy Tales, you know, basically, you have Helios.
Baba Yaga is protecting Helios, and she has this collar around his neck, which is helping him. It's basically turning his powers off, so it's preventing him from using his powers because he can't control his powers because he's so strong.
Right. And,
Sela.
Yeah, Sela, thank you. I was trying to remember the names. Wants Helios to surrender. They have an
she doesn't. She wants Baba Yaga to surrender Helios because she thinks Helios is being held against his will, whereas Baba Yaga is trying to explain to her that he's not being held against his will, and he actually comes out and says no. And then it turns out that Koshei is the one that kind of enticed Sela, and it turns out that Baba Yaga knows who he is, and it turns out that it's this guy, and he's an immortal, and he's there to take Helios by force.
And the artwork is just like really amazing. I'm just like really amazed at it.
I forgot who she was though. The Dark Horde's the Queen.
The Dark Queen.
Yeah, the Dark Queen basically knows that he's going to fail Koshi, and instead she knew that he was going to go for Helios, so she's using it as a distraction to get to his sister, Gina.
Yeah, and she wants them to bring the girl.
Right. She wants basically Gina, because she knows if she has Gina,
this character right here,
because Helios is too strong to control. She can't force him to do anything because he's more powerful than she is. However, with his sister,
the Winter Witch. Which is in here?
Yeah, the Winter Witch goes to get his sister Gina.
Right.
And there's lots of stars where you can find things like, for example, if you want to know more about Gina, you can check out Grimm Fairy Tales, Myths and Legends, Volume 4. For Winter Witch, it's Grimm Fairy Tale, Volume 12. So there's a lot of references in here. And what happens is they get Gina, and now basically the Dark Queen has her bargaining chip, or her way of controlling Helios. If he wants his sister to live, he'll do what she says. If he doesn't, then his sister will die and he won't.
Yeah, there's just so many.
This is how strong Helios is, by the way.
Yeah, I've noticed that they make like lots of choices, like in the books, like saying like you're gonna do this, or I'm just gonna, you know, like that's why I noticed when I've read some of the Zenescope books, which makes the story more interesting.
And it's all leading up to issue 100 of Grimm fairy tales. The next issue actually involves the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah. So, and Helio's story continues in Realm War, by the way.
Right. Which is coming later on.
Right, so I really found this book to be like really interesting, and even the artwork. I mean, all Zenescope artwork is really like there's no complaints about them. Like it's just like so amazing, but it's really the story as well, which actually, based on what we've shown you and how we review it, I'd say that this was really interesting as a read. But
absolutely, and this is part of Age of Darkness. This book is not part of Age of Darkness. This is a volume 2 to a book I love. GodStorm, Hercules, Payne, issue number 1. This is the variant cover, which pays homage to Superman.
Yes, and that's the one you read.
In this book, we get introduced to a guy named Andre. Andre is part of a gang. His older stepbrother, which I don't understand how that happens, is a police officer. Andre is looking to make money so he could take care of his mom. And his older brother, why does his older brother always kind of leaves me, where is it? It's probably right here somewhere. Calvin. His brother Calvin knows about what's going to happen or what's going down, and he has a hint about a deal that's going to go down. And you also get introduced to this guy called Tyrell Taylor, who apparently has powers as well. I don't know if he's a god or if he's a highborn. He's one or the other, but apparently he's the antagonist. So Andre goes to the meeting between Tyrell, who is basically a kingpin. If you want to think of somebody, think of Kingpin. Okay. He's a very rich person, but the police can't finger him on anything to prove that he's working with like gangs and drugs and whatnot.
So in other words, he's like a mysterious person that no one finds out any information.
No, he's like the Kingpin. Whereas they know he's dirty, but they have no proof. They're looking for proof.
Yeah, so no evidence. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but alright.
That or, I don't know, they're just trying to catch him. So anyway, Andre gets there, Tyrell's people get there, they start to talk about the deal, and then the police show up. Calvin is part of that. And there's a big old shootout, and I'm not going to give away the ending to this, but it definitely plays into the next issue, where I'm going to skip a lot of the description and go to the part where Andre prepares to flee until he's confronted by a man who claims to be his father, Zeus, the king of the gods. When true power is bestowed upon the misguided teen, will Andre become a power for good or a force of evil? Now, we all know what happened with Julian in the last story arc. I feel like I've said this several times already. So in this case, Julian went bad. Now he's kind of good. Like he's working against the being, as you'll see in the Ascension issue. We won't get into that right now. But in this one, will Andre become a force for good at the get-go, or will he go bad? I think in this case we're going to be looking at like a different direction than what GodStorm Volume 1 was, where Julian kind of in the end turned bad. I think in this case Andre already started off in a bad place, even though Julian did too. But he started off in a worse place. I think here he's going to change. With these new powers, he might gain a little bit of responsibility. We don't know yet, but from issue 1 alone, I was skeptical. I was worried, especially reading the first couple of pages, but then by the end of this issue, I had no doubt, no fear with this story. I know that this is going to be a spectacular volume for GodStorm, and I can't wait to read the next issue. 5 out of 5. Definitely one of my favorite books out of this month.
Yes. And my book of the month has to go to Robin Hood Legend, issue number 2.
By the way, these books, I would like to say, are out of order, but you can get them all. They're all available already.
Yes. And I just gotta say, just every time I pick up a Robin Hood comic book, like I always look forward to reading what's in store. This is volume 3, by the way. So basically, Robin Hood and the gang are at the realm fighting these mystical creatures and everything. And I like how that Gisborne is actually like working with them, but it's kind of weird actually just to see that. And I'll show some artwork. Artwork is spot on amazing in every Robin Hood comic book there is. So basically, Gisborne's trying to help them survive anything. When we go to Nottingham, though, when
Nottingham.
Nottingham, I thought it was not. All right, well, Nottingham. Basically, Cal, the sheriff, finds out that Robyn has returned in the realm, and Gisborne was with them. And then you have a moment where actually Will says that she loves Robyn. I'm like saying, finally. Yeah, that he loves Robyn, and I'm like, finally, it's about time, because I was waiting for that to happen. So, you know, and then basically Gisborne is just making a strategy of how to get to Nottingham, and you know, and also there's lots of help with Marion that also does the transporting and everything. And here's the thing, though. The thing that I thought was really funny was that they want to get inside into the gates and stuff.
So she uses the spell to change them.
Yeah, so he changed this, and I thought that was like really hilarious. But then after Will, with his condition, they spot that they were human, and then a whole big thing happens. And also the sheriff finds out what the civilians are saying about Robyn, that she's actually a good person. So if you want to find out more, you could definitely read the comic book. Robyn finds out about Will's condition, but also Gisborne thinks that they should sacrifice what's his name? Scarlet. No, Scarlet, like to leave Scarlet behind, and Scarlet doesn't take that so well. And it's when he goes after Gisborne, that's to be continued in the next Robin Hood legend. So, lots of twists and turns in this comic book, but the adventure, it hasn't really disappointed me, because I'm really enjoying Patrick Sham's work with Robin Hood.
Who doesn't enjoy his work?
I mean, it's just amazing. Like, I really have no complaints and nothing wrong with this issue. So definitely,
I'm putting them here.
Yeah, I would say it's my book of the month. You know, just really amazing. So
we both read this.
Yes.
You know what? Before we do that, maybe I'll do this, because this came out earlier than that, just for the heck of it.
Okay.
Grimm Fairy Tales presents Ascension, issue number 3. Ascension, the being is confronted with, I forgot what the name of the Alpha, the army was, but Jackie, who is now bestowed all the Shadow, basically Shadowland is within her, she's one of the being's followers. She is questioning what he's done. He gets pissed off at her for judging him for what he's done, and then they get confronted by, I don't know how this is possible, but the Realm Knights and the United States government, basically the government and the Realm Knights working together, which I found very interesting. But anyway, there was a huge talk out, a peaceful talk out at first. Sela and Van Helsing are looking on also, watching what's going on. And unfortunately, the peace talk led to a fight, a really short fight. Jackie disappears and goes back to her family. Cho, I believe his name is, I keep messing his name up.
Oh yeah, I think his name is Cho.
I believe it is.
Yeah, because I've seen him.
Shang, wrong.
I thought it was Cho.
Shang admits to Sela that he's known about the being's plans all along, that he knew that the being killed the creator and his, oh god, the maker and the keepers, and basically he became, and that he would become the maker, and his people, his followers would become the keepers, and he thinks that it might be a good thing, you know, no more war, no more anything. And Sela, of course, being very upset that Shang didn't tell her, was kind of taken back a little bit by it. And then she agrees that she would love a world without war or anything, but not the way the being is going. And she says, I'm stopping this, and either you're with me or you're against me. And he basically says, you know what, I'm sorry for not telling you. I owe you that much, but I'm not going to be a part of this. And he walks off. And her and Helsing, Leslie Van Helsing, are actually planning, have a plan to stop the being. However, somebody might get sacrificed because of it. Jackie has kind of a bit of an explosion, so to speak. And then we find out Julian shows up. He basically, spoiler alert here, he kills her and takes on her powers as a keeper as well as the Shadowland. And him, and I forgot the other woman's name, but Samantha. Him and Samantha basically are plotting now against the being. And the other keeper knows about her because she was watching from the shadows. And yeah, it's going to get crazy. The last 2 issues of this story arc, I have a feeling, are going to be insane. But this was a spectacular issue. I'm really pumped for the last 2 issues of Ascension, and just seeing what's going to happen to the being and what's going to happen in general to Julian, Samantha, Sela, if Leslie's going to survive. I mean, of course she must, because there's going to be a Van Helsing series. So, but this was a spectacular read. Definitely something to look into. Unfortunately, it's in issue 3 already. So for those of you that haven't tried it already, you're 3 issues behind. Either, I would say, pick up the 3 issues you missed, or wait 2 more months, and once issue 5 comes out, usually Zenescope is really good keeping up with the trades. Within another month, you're gonna see the trade paperback for Ascension.
Yes. And speaking of Van Helsing, we were talking about, we have an issue 1 of Grimm Fairy Tale Presents Helsing, and both of us have read this. And I really gotta admit that this story was really
really good.
Like, it was just.
It gives you a little bit
second best of this month, in my opinion.
It gives you a little bit. You go into the head of Leslie, who came from the past. She traveled from the past to the present. She was trapped.
Like, she deserved a second chance in life.
Right. She was trapped. I forgot where. I believe it was in the Shadowlands, as a matter of fact. She came to the present day. Sela tried to help her get her life together in the future, or for her, this is the future. And this is basically her coping with her not her new life, but her changed life.
Yeah, like she's trying to get into modern day.
I love the gun she invented in the beginning of the book, where it
shot off a spear, and then
it shot off a stake that has metal in it and all this other stuff.
Yeah, and then it shows how she did that and everything. Like, yeah, like that was like really.
She's an inventor.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were.
No, that's I was yawning.
Yeah, so basically she gets a text message to meet with somebody
Hades.
somewhere. Yeah, Hades, yeah.
Yeah, that's a boy. Apparently they're dating.
I was going to say that. And then when they were, like, it was like kind of a little bit of an awkward moment when they met each other, because they met at a cupcake place.
Yeah, she was wondering why he wanted to have a date at a cupcake place, and he's trying to explain to her, oh, we could go to any bar, but this is something amazing. It's very hard to get a cupcake right. I laughed at that.
I was laughing at that whole conversation because he just kept talking about it. But then there was like a really...
that awkward question of how many people have you killed?
Yeah, and then that's what really he was trying to...
It killed the mood, basically, and the date was kind of over.
Yeah, and then he said, like, basically 300,507.
And then he's like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, Leslie?
Yeah. And then she gets a call from Sela in this story as well.
And they yakety-yak for a bit.
Yeah, about some stuff. If you want to know what it's about, you should definitely read a comic book. But here's the thing. She got a package that's delivered to her, but we don't know by who. So this book she got was the Journal of Abraham Van Helsing, which
basically
is her
Van
father.
Helsing.
Yeah. And I really liked the whole story.
They went into the past,
talk about, like, how he was, like, basically he is doing what she was.
Well, that's what Van Helsing was. He was a vampire slayer. And what happened was he killed this vampire, but it didn't die. Instead of the black mist leaving his body and the vampire died, the black mist became the vampire. And Van Helsing figured out a way to stop him. However, when Leslie got to that page,
yeah, like,
it was gone.
What? And then she sees a Harker's
basically the bookmark was from a place in Rome, Italy, so she takes a trip to Italy.
Yeah, and now that she's in Italy, now she's got some lots of things to look forward to now that she's in Italy. So
it's going to be a very interesting series.
I mean, I didn't really actually think that she would go to Italy, but after that book
Well, you
launch,
gotta go to Europe. That's where it is.
Yeah,
that's
because that's where
place.
the whole thing takes place, and that's what really got my.
I loved
just
it.
Like, wow.
I love this issue. I can't say enough of amazing things from this story. First part alone, I'm ready to.
This is my second book of the month, actually.
I loved it too. Yeah.
Yes.
Whoop. Now they're gonna start falling, aren't they?
Yes. Very nice.
That's it. You're going up here, and you're gonna fall here too.
Why don't you just put them over here?
No, I got it.
Okay. Next one is Grimm Fairy Tale Presents Wonderland, issue number 22.
That you read
and
on
that
your
I
own.
read.
And the next one you read also on your own.
Yeah, I've read a lot of Zenescope because I'm just so interested in these books. Like, every time I hear Zenescope, it's just like really what grasps my interest, you know? So yeah, so basically it starts off with this guy who is in the desert, and he's like basically the creator of like females and stuff like that, of anger, fear, innocence, envy, and passion, and he's just trying to find someone that's basically right for him. So, in Wonderland, Kaylee,
Lidl.
Yeah, and she's the daughter
Callie
of...
Lidl.
Yeah, and she's the daughter of Alice. So she's sent into the Wonderland world, where she has, some mission of some type. And, like, she meets... Like, our work is just really, like, really that amazing and stuff like that. And when she meets up with this guy, like, she doesn't like how can I say this? Like, he has like something that she knows about her daughter and everything. And like, you could read the book. Like, I'm trying to like not spoil it or anything, because they have like this big huge dialogue with each other. With all that stuff, and he knows more about her daughter and everything else there is, and that kind of gets a little bit weird when he talks about the earth and stuff like that, like all the sentiments and stuff. So yeah, it just then gets into like lots of how things of earth became the way they are, and
Are you a god? I love that.
Yeah. And there are other stuffs that I don't want to show because it's a little bit too bloody and stuff like that. So it's just basically, like, I don't think that she trusts him because of he thinks that he's like doing all these tricks and stuff like that. So he's just trying to tell, it's not a trick at all. It's just basically the truth. And then there's these little mushroom guys that come, and then she calms them down to make them happy. And then there's someone with a blade that actually comes in to ruin the mood, and now seems like in next issue Kaylee's gonna go up against Hazel. So left me off to the point like I wanted to see how the fight was gonna be. I may have left a lot of stuff out because I really want you guys to read this, because I don't
think
give
there's
too
anything
much
really
away.
not worth reading from Zenescope.
No, because the thing that I want to do is not to give too much away, because I want the viewers out there, when I review the book, to actually get the comic book.
Now this is another miniseries you're reading.
Yes. This is Grimm Fairy Tales Presents Neverland, issue number 2. And Neverland is actually a book that I'm continuing reading. Like, basically, I keep forgetting. Nathan is trying to find out, like, there's these goblins that are coming from everywhere, and he wants to know, like, where they are coming from. So his wife actually comes in, Nathan's wife comes in to help out. And Wendy is the wife, and
Oh, we didn't see that coming.
and he's like saying, like, what are you doing here? And she's like saying, making sure not to get killed, but it's mostly because he works with all these women, so
Yeah.
gotta be a
I
little,
remember the first issue that was.
And then they have a portal where they go into a different world, and then basically the two ladies are having an argument with each other. Basically Nathan's wife and who he's working with as well. So they find this camp somewhere, and like he just goes right ahead, Nathan. Like, he just goes in instead of like them planning out where they are, like how to go in and what about. So like he does like all these sneak attacks, and then we get Bella, who actually comes in with amazing artwork actually. And she actually wants to help him because she has the power of making people into cloak, like invisible and stuff. So she's actually going to be very helpful in this comic book from basically what I've seen her do for Nathan. And they get caught by the guards. And, you know, there's just lots of things. Like, not in a bad way, like, there's this village that might help because it's harvest time, and the people that are invading the village plan to slaughter the people, basically elderly men, women, and children. So Nathan doesn't really like that that's going to happen, so he's going to go pay a visit to this village and see how to prevent all that from happening. So Nathan's like one of the strong main characters, you know, with a arm for a gun and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah. And before we go into the next book really quick, we're going to push the button. I think we have 3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just hang tight and we will continue in just a moment. All right? Okay. And continuing on, this is a one-shot that came out of this month.
Yes, and
you read this, I didn't read this one.
Yes, Grimm Fairy Tales presents Inferno.
I did look through it, though, I will say that, and I love the artwork in it, and I think that the action is very cool, but I did not have a chance. I know that it involves
the main character.
What was the red guy? I keep forgetting his name. The dark one?
Oh, the Dark Lord.
Lord.
Yeah, because there's Lucifer in this story, who is a female, and it talks about her that, oh, this was the one with the second chance life, because I was talking about the girl before. Mm-hmm. It was actually in this story, so I made a mistake, so... I've read so many books, guys, but yeah. So in this book, she talks about her life of getting a second chance at life, and to do what Lucifer, who is the female, I'll just say female Lucifer, really.
Yeah, or just call her Lucifer.
I could just call her Lucifer,
because,
yeah, Lucifer.
Keep going!
So anyway, she does like all the missions that she tells her to do, and the Dark Lord actually pays a visit to Lucifer because she wants to talk to her, and basically what he's saying is that there's a war coming, and she wants, and he wants her to join his side, and as you can tell, they really don't seem to look eye to eye.
Isn't he the father to Lucifer?
Yeah, the father.
Yeah, so the Dark Lord is Lucifer's father.
Yeah.
Okay then.
That's what I was saying. So he wanted her like to join his side and everything, and they have like really a long talk with each other. And meanwhile, the what was it? Mercy, who is the main character in the beginning of the book, goes to Lucifer, and she tells her about another mission, or really the next target, and it's this woman right here. And she's actually going to be helpful in the story as the issue goes on. Yeah, because she had like these swords and everything, and they have like this interesting...
What is she, a ninja?
Like a ninja slash samurai, I would say. And they have this interesting fight scene where it ended up where Mercy got her at the push of a gun and everything. And there was like this dinner where the Dark Queen, along with the Dark Lord, have with Lucifer and Mercy. Although I didn't like the Dark Queen character in this story.
She's the evil one. She's the reason why all the Age of Darkness is coming.
Yeah, and then they talk about the mission of going after the Eye of Cyclops, and there's more into the story. If you want to read into it, you know, you should read the comic book. And they do every which way to get the Eye of Cyclops. And they work together, both Mercy and the Samurai Ninja chick. So, yeah, I'll just call her that, really.
She doesn't have a name?
She has a name, but I can't remember her name. Like, I'm trying to look for her. But, yeah, so, I hate when you do that.
I only am doing it because I believe I saw her name.
I did see her name, too, but it was, like, just... Like, it wasn't in the beginning, you know? It was actually during this scene.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So I was gonna look for it. So yeah, so both of them are just going to find the Eye of Lucifer. If I could find the name of this person, because I can't remember for the life of me.
Okay, continue
Yeah.
forward. This is just too
Yeah,
much.
I'm just trying to find the name, but yeah, but basically they do find it, you know. But then the Dark Queen, of course, she had something up her sleeve. Who didn't see that coming? And she goes back to the Dark Lord, and then just says, you know, she betrayed you and everything, and basically what you should do is, you know, like, you know what you must do, and basically the father says, I will end her.
Yeah, but was it the Dark Queen's fault, or was it a
No,
setup?
no,
What was
like
it?
it was a setup. Basically, the Dark Queen,
Tried to
doesn't
kill
like,
them?
right, with the destruction and everything. So she doesn't like Lucifer, so she wants now the Dark Lord, because he's the almighty powerful, wants him to kill her for basically something that she was trying to do, but she's making him believe that she betrayed him. So as the story goes on, it's going to be continued in the Age of Darkness, which will be in this comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be like a huge feud between the Dark Queen and Lucifer. And of course the Dark Lord's probably going to find out that the Dark Queen's just trying to, you know...
Well, that's when the Dark...
That's when all hell's going to break loose. And I mean
Literally.
seriously and literally. Of all that stuff. Alright, next one of the Grimm Fairy Tales presents is Wonderland Asylum, issue number 4.
I didn't read that at all.
This I read, actually. And in Wonderland Asylum, like, there's just like a whole big dialogue. Like, there was this guy who was actually in the other book.
Yeah, he's marrying what's her name's daughter. That's right.
Alice's daughter? Callie
Little,
yeah.
and her daughter Violet. He's marrying
yeah.
Violet.
And then Violet really doesn't want to marry him, and then there's like a whole big thing in the beginning where
the Mad Hatter shows up.
yeah, and actually kills the Red Priest, which I thought was kind of something else. I'm gonna try to show a page, because there are other pages where it's not like all bloody and everything. But the Mad Hatter and Violet, like, they have a little bit of a talk and fight scene with each other, but then they actually find out that he tells Violet that Achilles alive, and they say so, and that it's true in Wonderland, which we just reviewed when she's in entering Wonderland, stuff like that. So Mad Hatter says, what if I kill her? And then he tells her that, you know, if you kill her, then Violet will become the Hatter, because the hat goes to basically who it's chosen for. And there's just lots of other stuff where you can read this and find out more information. And it's just like, really, this whole thing is talking about how Violet's just talking to this guy about like all this stuff and what he sees as a vision.
I thought this was the mom and Violet was the one with the black. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. So like
you read the book. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's just like a whole big... Oh, here's some artwork I can actually show, which like this one right here. And it's like really amazing artwork. And he just wants to meet someone just to make him whole. Like, this is what I like about this guy. He wants to find a woman that can make him whole and everything, but he's just trying to find out who it is, and probably Violet is gonna be the one. So then the Mad Hatter talks to Kitty, like the evil Kitty, and
that's the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, the Cheshire Cat. Yeah.
Keep going.
But that I'm just saying what the characters call them by. So they meet up with Victor Oid in the other universe, and there's lots of things that they talk about, including a key that leads into a certain doorway. But the doorway could lead into something more than just one thing. Or could cause something that could say, yeah, it happened and everything's just going all over the place. So, looking really
Dark.
But in a dark way, it was very interesting. So interesting that I can't get this comic book in there. Yeah. But really great stuff. You should definitely look into that.
The final book of the month.
Yeah, and this is a story I've been actually interested in reading of Grimm Fairy Tales Presents Wonderland, Clash of Queens, issue number 3.
This actually, I got to skim through a bit. I had to read through most of it. This was really good. The trickster...
Yeah, the trickster's in this.
She's the one that actually finds out about the Queen of Spades, who is controlling, spoiler, the Queen of Hearts. Basically, she goes to talk to each and every one of the queens, all 4 queens. And when she gets to the Queen of Hearts, who apparently is last, she says, I would be talking to the Queen of Hearts if she was not being controlled by the Queen of Spades. And then she basically spirits away the Queen of Spades there. Yeah. And then the Queen of Hearts, pissed off about what's been going on.
Exactly.
Now, wants the trickster to help her, I believe.
Basically,
for a reckoning. She's going to cause a reckoning against...
To discern the identity of the art attack behind the murder of the soldiers. Like, she just wants to find out more information about that. And, it's just like everyone's just killing one another.
Yeah, the rest of it's just about the fight between the diamonds and the spades.
Yeah, and that one's, like, that ends up into some decapitations. And
that ends up with nobody winning, let's just put it that way. And the...
Yeah, like, they work with each other, and all of a sudden they kill one another, and, yeah. Oh, here's the thing that really got me, though. What was his name?
He's the knight for
he's the knight, but yeah, basically the knight talks with the Queen of Hearts, right? Yeah, and
whom he believed is still controlled by the Queen of Spades.
And this is what gets me. She asks him for the ebony blade, and like saying, you know, oh, if you give it to me, I'm sure it gets to you know, the queen safely because she wants to return it to the queen and everything. So he gives it to her, and guess what? The Queen of Hearts kills the knight. Or just stabs him, and then... Now, see, this is what I said. If I was in that situation, I would not be that stupid to do that, because I saw that coming. Because you could tell...
I'm glad you saw that coming.
By the face, I mean, by the looks of this, you're actually telling me, like, saying, oh, I'll give you the blade.
I'm glad you thought that was coming. He didn't.
The face expression, like how do you not see that? You like saying, no, I will give it to the queen myself. Why are you gonna do that?
He didn't know she wasn't being controlled anymore.
I don't know.
I just have a feeling the trickster is trying to get all the queens in her hand because there is a one-shot coming out, if you look.
Oh yeah, which is gonna be
here, called Age of Darkness Wonderland one-shot, but it involves all the queens, it looks like, and
the trickster. And that's coming out in June.
Which is when this series is going to be over, because this is part what? This is part 3, part 4 is in May, and part 5 is in June. And guess when the one-shot's coming out?
In June.
Bingo.
So, I'm just saying, when I looked at that scene, I just put down a comic, and I was like this, like, really? How... I don't know. I'm just saying by what I would have saw if I was in that situation. And not because of the story of her being possessed. I would have known better. But all in all, though, overlooking that, I really liked the story. It was very interesting, and I recommend you definitely check that out.
Very action-packed. Looking forward to where it all leads into. And that's it, guys. That is all the books we read for the month of April from Zenescope. Nothing bad.
I'm looking forward to the books that are coming out this month.
And next month we will have a trade paperback.
Yes.
For one book. Also to mention, next month on the week of May 12th will be Zenescope week.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be covering lots of books. So those might not be the only trade paperbacks we have. We are actually planning on getting a few trade paperbacks from older stories in Zenescope. I know you want to get Robin Hood Volume 1 and 2.
Yes.
I want to get GodStorm Volume 1. And there are some other interesting books that you might be interested in. And there are some other interesting books that I'm interested in. Other fairy tales that happened before we started reading Zenescope.
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay.
So we're going to be looking into a couple of trade paperbacks because there's 5 days in the week and there's 5 days worth of reviews. So already with the 2 Robin Hood books, that's
Volumes
2,
1 and 2.
and GodStorm is 3, so 2 more.
Probably I'll look into...
Don't say it on air. We surprise everybody.
Well, you're telling them what we're getting now. So what's...
I didn't say we were going to review those. I said that those are the ones we wanted. There could be other ones.
Well, that's an example.
There you go.
There you go.
So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for sticking around. This is now the second recap we've done. Look forward to the Transformers and Star Wars recaps tomorrow, or as the day continues, depending on when this goes up, Sunday. I know Star Wars I will be doing mostly by myself because I'm the only one that read Star Wars this week.
Yeah, I tried.
Transformers is going to be a surprise type of video still.
Mm-hmm.
And then look forward to the indie review Monday morning. And then Tuesday morning will be the big 2 reviews. I just want to throw that out there because the schedule did move forward a little bit.
Yeah,
not only due to the one-shots, but because of everything else. It was a very busy week, so reading books kind of was a little bit slow this week. Also, the morning show, or the morning stream, will be happening. I don't know if it's going to be between this and the hall or what, but it will be up.
Yes.
Somewhere. So guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. If you like any of the... We are together, we are your #1 source for comic related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you like these books and you would like to buy them, there is a VIP thing going on Zenescope.com where you can become a VIP member and you can get all your books sent to you. I believe it's monthly. I don't know how it works. You can look it up there. If you're interested in looking up Zenescope, you can go to Zenescope.com.
We got a lot of stuff there.
I believe it's Zenescope.com, or was it Zenescope?
I think it's Zenescope.com.
I think it's Zenescope. Yep, right there. Zenescope.com.
Oh, so you were right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can check out all the awesome stuff they have planned and coming up, coming out, going on. Don't forget to follow their Twitter. Don't forget to follow my Twitter. This way you know what's going up and going on my channel and things that we're planning coming out. And yeah, until next time, everybody.
Yep.
Keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in the next review. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.